We started the journey at the Dutch Weed Burger, but before we tried it, we wanted to know what the rest of Amsterdam knew about it. We asked people, "What is the Weed Burger?" And these are some of the responses we received.
My first thoughts were being weed, like you can smoke weed, but
Oh, je bedoelt what you can smoke also?
Haha, yeah, a wheat burger. Sounds like you get high on a burger.
Based on Amsterdam's legalization of marijuana and liberal, free-thinking attitude, most people assumed that the Weed Burger contains drugs. However, it is actually made of seaweed and promotes a plant-based diet, which is more sustainable. It also provides more variety when it comes to what you eat, as it is also sold alongside animal products in other restaurants.
Yeah, well, it started like 5 to 6 years ago. Mark and he said I wanted to make products on the market which was sustainable, healthy, but also reachable for the main public. Sustainable seaweed, if you grow it, sustainable.
This was a great start, but we wanted to look further into the way that food is cycled throughout the city, which led us to the topic of food waste. We were curious to see if people knew how much waste they produced, and so we asked, how many kilos of food waste does the average person produce per week?
Yeah, maybe 2 kilograms.
I don't know, 2 kilos?
5 kilos.
Everyone we asked was pretty spot on with their answers, as the average in North America and Europe is approximately 2 kilos. We then found our way to InStock, a restaurant that partners with the grocery store chain Albert Heijn and takes 2% of the food that would be wasted because it has an odd shape or has a spot on it. Once the food is cooked and plated, you can't tell where the products were sourced from, and when customers hear the story of InStock, they are able to reflect on the amount of food waste they produce and try to lessen it moving forward. On the wall, there is also the number of kilos of food waste that have been saved by InStock this year alone, just by using products that would have otherwise been thrown away. While there, we spoke with the chef about how he works with the rescued food, and he showed us some of the dishes that were on the menu.
Yeah, so like I said, it needs to be 80% rescued. Some dishes will go up to almost 100%. In a way, it's challenging, but it's also you just need to be super creative with it. And we've now got like 160 Albert Heijns that supply us with their veggies. So we get.
As we continued to learn about how much food is wasted, we became curious about where that food waste ends up. This led us to Le Compostier in De Cas Cantine, where we learned about worm hotels.
So in the end, I found out about vermicomposting, so I started doing that. The first pilots were funded by the city. I had sort of like 3 tracks that I thought could work. One was for households, one was for restaurants, and one was for community groups. So I got the chance to do this for a group, and that's where I really started to develop the worm hotels as they are now.
He shared with us some of the ways to reduce food waste at the source by mentioning something similar to InStock's mission.
Just the mentality of how we treat everything. Just not think anymore, okay, I'm only gonna go to the shop if it's completely packed and full. And in that way you as a consumer are actually making it happen that a lot of food is being thrown away. By also picking that apple that has a spot and not just leaving the apple with the spot and only taking the perfect ones. Because that, again, the apple with the spot is the one that's going to be thrown away.
He then discussed the benefits of composting in the city.
So yes, you can pick up all that waste, bring it out of the city and make a compost there. That's happening already. But you can also use it with loss of very limited space, especially if you start doing it on roofs or in basements or there's just always that corner that's not being used. If you make your own vermicompost, you see it happening and you have a bond with it. And then when you have a bond with this beautiful compost, you want to use it. So then you want to grow a flower or you want to grow some edibles.
He also talked with us about how easy it is to compost.
Kids, they understand it immediately. If you tell them, put this in the worm bin and then the soil comes out and then you put the seed and they just love it. Like a child, you don't have to tell it. Like if they grow up with it, then that's in their system. I find that the best approach is if somebody hears about this and is like interested and then starts to ask first me or maybe somebody else is doing similar things, like how can I make my own composting project. So there's like an interest that comes from the people themselves. And then the city of Amsterdam, there's just now a movement going on that more and more people are making roof gardens, more and more people are starting to do community gardens, so growing more food in the city.